Dark Souls lore is messy. It's sad, it's revengeful, but most importantly, juicy, delicious gossip. For the past 3 days, I've been sort of looking into Dark Souls lore and finding out a lot of stuff against my will, but I'm not mad at it. So today, I'm going to bring you my favorite tidbits of Dark Souls lore. Enjoy. We're going to start off our messy tea journey with Seath, that guy. Imagine being born into a family of immortal dragons. Everyone is beautiful, everyone is thriving, everyone's sexy, fun, and fresh, except you, purely because you were born without scales.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
So instead of accepting herself, Seath's like, I'm gonna commit dragon genocide because why not? Well, what do you mean? So the gods reward him, he gets a castle, he gets power, status, he gets everything he wanted. And it's still not enough. I mean, call me crazy, but give me a couple self-help books, a gym membership, and maybe like a fruit cocktail every other morning, and I'm set. My heart is healed. I can move on with my life. But not Seath. Nothing was enough for him. He was still insecure. Talk about a man. It's a joke. Don't kill me, but like, is it? He then spends centuries kidnapping people and conducting crystal experiments just to become immortal. The moral of the story here is hating yourself doesn't go away when you get promoted. You're promoted.
You have been promoted.
Yeah, so I don't know, like, love yourself. Even if you are a scaleless, no scale having ass dragon, just love yourself. You can persevere and overcome. You don't have to be beautiful. You don't have to be beautiful to be powerful, get a castle. Like, you can just work hard and buy yourself a castle. Like, I don't know what currencies the dragon used, but like, you could always just work hard, you know, get into crypto mining or scamming. I don't know. Ooh, I don't judge. Everyone lives a different life and I accept that. Anyway, next tea sesh.
Yes, gagas. Hey, mama.
Well, this isn't like messy tea, but like one of the saddest stories in Dark Souls is the one of Sif. Some of you may know, some of you may not, but I'll tell you the tea. I'm using a powder. I don't know where the top of this is, but it's a powder to set my face. Setting powder is set. So the giant wolf boss, yes, I'm sure you've seen the one. The cute dog with the big sword and all the tears at the end. Yeah. If you play the DLC first before you play any other games, you actually go back in time and you save Sif as a puppy. Don't ask me how we get back in time. None of my business. Dark Souls, follow along. And Sif remembers you, right, when you go fight her. Then later in the base game, she is forced to fight you. Not because she hates you, but she's trying to protect you from the same fate as Artorias, that guy. Meaning she's actually protecting you by attacking you. And this is heartbreaking because in the end, you actually have to kill this wolf boss. And it's quite crazy because the more you damage hey, you want a boss, we'll give you emotional damage instead. One of my favorite reveals. Reveal yourself. One of my favorite reveals is this. So you arrive in this beautiful city, amazing, you know, beautiful scenes, golden sunlight, everything looks perfect. And obviously you fight some enemies here and there that you sort of find and see, and then you sort of go into this building, go up these stairs, elevator, whatever, and you come across this hall and you see this amazing, beautiful, big-titted princess. You're like, oh, who is this? Gorgeous waifu, all that stuff that people say about her. And she ends up saying a bunch of stuff and you have to fight her. But then once you fight her, you realize that, oh, this is all an illusion. She is catfishing everybody about this town, because once you defeat her, the veil sort of comes off and the city is horrible, decrepit, disgusting, all that stuff. And essentially she was using a beauty filter on the city to basically like catfish everybody. Talk about like, you know, progressive times. Because yeah, the city essentially had like an Instagram filter on everything, so people would think, oh, this is fun and fresh, but it's not fun and fresh, it's rotten, like your mom. Chris. Oh, I needed big eyeliner, big. Another one of my favorite messy tea times of Dark Souls, not messy, but like quite sad, is that of Vendrick, and how he ignored so many red flags and ended up being a shell of a man due to love. Vendrick was a king, of course. Vendrick meets Nashandra and they fall in love. Beautiful, fun and fish, they fall in love, and everything sort of gets worse after this. Like usually love is love, but like love was not love in this case, because she convinces him to start a war, invade the giants, and basically destabilize his whole kingdom. Basically woman in men's fields, you know, fun stuff. And basically he goes, you know what, you're making sense, let's start a war. And he does that. Only his kingdom collapses and everyone suffers. He loses everything and he's bound to walk eternity in his underwear until you find him and you try and fight him. And it's a very sad fight because guy just has nothing to give. And in the end, you give him the piece he so desperately needed, which is death to all of them. But also, like, who's really the victim in the story? Millions of people that died innocently. So I feel nothing for that traitor. He deserved death. So yeah, quite crazy. Also Nashandra and her sisters. What is her name? Nashandra. That girl. Is she and her sisters? Baby, chaos incarnate. I'm happy to do a video just like based on these 4 queens that basically caused centuries of suffering just because. To be fair, who they came out of also was just a messy figure, but baby, her and her sisters ruled with an iron fist of chaos. Love their work. The last sort of story I will do is that of the last giant in the Dark Souls game. Very interesting. Love his work. Love that king. In Dark Souls 2, King Vendrick, under the spell of being pussy whipped, he goes to war with the giants, and the giants are like, we're not going to take this lightly. We are going to kill you and get you back. They invade his kingdom. They're like, we're not going to take this sitting down. We're going to invade you. So they invade the kingdom, and the war devastates everything. And so now, why do we call him the last giant? All the giants have been wiped out up until this point. And he's one of the final survivors of this whole ordeal, and he's basically a living reminder of Vendrick's greed in the end. Very deep, I know. The real tea though comes in this part. Okay, so later in Dark Souls 2, you travel back in time and you witness the giant war, and you sort of see what happened, and you encounter the giant lord. He was sort of the commander, I guess, for the giants. Correct me if I'm wrong, I might be, but you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And this giant was captured after the war. Many players sort of like realize that the last giant and the giant lord are the same person when you sort of come back from all the memories and you encounter this giant in the game who was the last giant. Remember, okay, let me just explain. So as the player, you encounter this big old giant stuck in this place, and you're like, oh, this is a giant. And when this giant sees you, this giant loses its shit. This giant goes berserk, and you're like, I don't know you, I'm just like a messenger, like, who are you, like, what's going on? And this giant is just like hell-bent on killing you. It gets to a point where this giant rips off its own arm, and it's just like, I'm going to kill you. And you're still just like, what did I do, like, I don't know you, and all that stuff. The giant lord, is captured, and he is imprisoned for a long time. And turns out that is who you encounter. But you're like, hey, Joey, why is this giant like up my ass? You didn't just travel back in time. You are one of the soldiers that actually fights in the war, and you fight against the giant lord, which is why when you sort of travel back to your time and you come across this giant lord, mind you, you don't know that you fought this guy, because you're like, I don't know this guy, like, who the fuck are you? He's just like, wait a minute, it's you. It's you, it's you. And obviously there's no one else to be mad at, so he's like, I'm gonna hyper focus on you. You caught me. So you are now the target of all of his anger and resentment, and essentially it's sort of your fault that your people killed his people, so he's like, I'm gonna kill you. The saddest part for me is the last giant isn't actually evil. He has just lost everything. He isn't trying to conquer the world. He's not chasing power. He's not part of this like cosmic prophecy thing. He's just angry at you, the player, that erased his people, erased everything, and you're now a reminder of all of that centuries of pain that happened to him. And honestly, he's justified. I would shoot up the place, because how dare you? You know, it's just insane. Over a conflict that Vendrick started, all because he was pussy whipped. Crazy. That is my summary of some of my recent favorite and messiest parts of Dark Souls lore. Obviously there's so much more that I could cover and could do, but these were the ones that stood out for me in my research for something that I was doing. It's messy, it's fun, it's fresh. Not to mention that there's so much more, but like this is all that I could cram in because my makeup is done. I'm done with my face. Also, I'm not a makeup person, I'm just a girl, so please leave me alone. If my makeup doesn't look good, I don't care. If you want more makeup and lore, I don't mind, babe. There is so much more we could be doing with our time, and this is a good use of free will. Thank you for watching. Feel free to tell me more of your own like favorite lore pieces from Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, 4, 27. I don't care, DLC. Tell me everything. I love Dark Souls so much, and I'm only starting now to learn about the story of Dark Souls, as I started playing Dark Souls 3 a bit earlier last year. So I'm still getting into the lore and everything, but so many interesting multifaceted things I've come across. So yeah, thank you for watching the video. My makeup is done. Have a lovely time. Stay safe and happy gaming, gamers. Thank you for watching. And yeah, bye.